where the music matters. This is listener-powered 90.3 FM KEXP in Seattle. I'm DJ Miss Ashley, and it is my pleasure and honor to introduce Bret McKenzie.
Hey, it's great to be here. I'm going to play some tunes. The first one, it's a track off the new record. It's called Days Place. It starts with a kind of quite an 80s vibe. So let's have a go.
Get lost, you get found. Get abused, you get burned. You get used, you get returned. Ooh, what you wanna get one life? You get cut, yeah, you get next. You get hurt, you get fixed. You get drunk and you get laid. You get fooled, you get played. Ooh, what you wanna get one night? Yeah, yeah. Shoot out our road when it goes high. Well, we're for you. You go dancing in the sky. Babe, you enjoy the view. Whoa, whoa. You get hope, but you get despair. You get this you wish, but you weren't there. You get locked up, you get set free. You get a promise of eternity. Ooh, what you wanna get one life? Yeah, yeah. Shoot out our road when it goes high. Well, we're there for you. You go tripping in the sky. Baby, you enjoy the view. Whoa, whoa.
Okay, the next song is I'm just going to jump to the keyboard. This one's hang on one second. It's a song from the Muppet movies. It's pretty different feel. Okay, I've just moved to the keyboard. Okay, so this one, so we go. This one, let's try this one, everyone. It's a ballad, existential ballad about fate versus self-determination, or being a man or a Muppet. So I wrote it. It's a duet, and today I'll be playing both the man and the Muppet. It's from the Muppet films I did 10 years ago. Here we go. Okay, let's go. The band's going to be a bit of an Electric Mayhem vibe. So let's see how we go. Okay.
I reflect on my reflection, and I ask myself the question, what's the right direction to go? I don't know. Am I a man, or am I a Muppet?
Am I a Muppet?
If I'm a Muppet, well, I'm a very manly Muppet. Am I a Muppet? Or am I a man?
Am I a man?
If I'm a man, that makes me a Muppet of a man.
I look into these eyes, and I don't recognize the one I see inside. It's time for me to decide. Am I a man? Or am I a Muppet?
Am I a Muppet?
If I'm a Muppet, well, I'm a very manly Muppet.
Very manly Muppet.
Am I a Muppet? Or am I a man?
Am I a man?
If I'm a man, that makes me a Muppet of a man.
A Muppet.
Here I go again, I'm always running out of time. I think I've made up my mind. Well, now I understand who I am. I'm a man. I'm a Muppet of a man.
I'm a very
Well, I'm a Muppet of man. That's what I am.
What you couldn't see at home was the Ben Lemi on drums doing the full Animal drum solo, but I don't think we had a camera pointing in that direction, but it was epic. Okay, this next one, we're going to do a few songs, but the next one, I've got to move back to guitar, so just, I'll try and do it really quickly. Just move back to guitar now. Okay, I'm back at the guitar mic. And this next one is, this one I wrote during, it's from the record, and it's called Crazy Times. It's a song I wrote during lockdown. In New Zealand, we were locked down for a few years, and it's pretty exciting, actually, just being out of the country at the moment. But this one I wrote when I was just at home, after kids had gone to sleep, and it's about being at home, basically. Okay, let's try it.
Tonight, yeah, I'm staying home. There's nowhere else to go. The streets are dead, the skies are quiet. The world I know is closed. In LA, yeah, I miss you now. I never thought all your dusty days, your starless nights on the streets of Hollywood. Ooh, there's no sign of life in this crazy time. The moon is rising up. Yeah, it's beautiful tonight. My friend, damn, I miss you now. Well, I could use a little light. Ooh, there ain't no goodbye in this crazy time. But when it all blows over, you let me know. I'm on my way, ready to go. When the sun comes out, we can hit the road. 'Cause I'm all packed up, I'm ready to go. Tonight, yeah, I'm staying home. I'm gonna watch the seasons change. 'Cause who knows what's down the line? And will it ever be the same?
Can do one more song. This one is off the record. It's called "If You Want to Go," and a lot of people said to me, "Why is the record so 80s?" And to be fair, well, it's because it started off as sounding quite 70s, and then we tried to make it more sound a bit more contemporary, and that's about as far as we got. So this is a tune. It's quite 80s, quite Elton Johnny. It's called "If You Want to Go." 1, 2, 3, 4.
You wanna go, baby, where you go? You better pack your bags, darling, and hit that road. You wanna go, baby, where you go? I'm only hanging around waiting for you. Hell no. After all we've been through, well, don't try to fake it, darling, hit me, I take it. And you and Jeffrey can start a new world. If I love story is done, call it a day, we go our separate ways. Do us a favor, cut me loose. You wanna roll, baby? Yeah, you roll. Yeah, that's how you feeling, don't hit that road. You wanna roll, baby? Yeah, where you go? I'm gonna hang around waiting for you. Hell no, you go. Try to hide it, darling, while you deny it. I can see what you wanna do. If our love story's done, we'll call it a day and go our separate ways. Do us a favor, come and look. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You wanna go, baby? There you go. I'm only hanging around with you. Hell no, you want all good, we're all good, yeah, you know. You wanna go where you go.
Bravo.
Thanks, Ashley.
Bret McKenzie live on KEXP.
Sunday morning, just full noise.
I'm glad you made it. I heard the tour bus broke down in Oregon.
Yeah, we broke down in a mountain between Salt Lake City and Oregon, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, we spent quite a lot of time in the snow we made a snowman. We tried to make the best of it. Yeah.
I'm glad you're all safe. What do
Yeah,
you-
we're safe. We're mentally a bit damaged, but yeah.
Yeah,
We spent a lot of time in a bus together, yeah.
I'm sure. Would you like to introduce these lovely
I
musicians?
would love to, yeah. On keys, Leo Coghini. On guitar, Justin Firefly Clarke. On saxophone, Eilish Wilson. On backing vocals, Moana Leota and Cat Little. On bass, Jacqui Nyman. And on drums, Ben Lemi.
Beautiful. You're all amazing. Thank you for making it here today.
Oh, it's cool. Everyone, the bands all come from New Zealand, so it's pretty. We've had a great time touring around the country. Half the band have never been to America before.
Wow.
Some of the highlights so far have been Applebee's. That was a big favourite.
Okay.
Yeah, we were pretty stoked with
That's a good
Applebee's
one.
in Boston. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, last leg of the U.S. tour.
Yeah, we've got a
correct?
week, the West Coast. We're playing Seattle tonight and then down to Los Angeles, yeah.
Yeah. How's the tour been?
It's been awesome. Yeah, so fun. I mean, like I said before, we've sort of been in New Zealand for quite a few years, so it's just so exciting playing to people and not being on a Zoom call. Yeah, it's been really fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the bands, they're all really awesome, so it's been super fun, yeah.
That's great. You've released a couple music videos for songs on the new album. What was your favorite experience or your favorite video to do for that?
My favourite video was probably, there's a song called Little Tune, and we filmed it in this beautiful old opera house in a tiny little town. And we got the local amateur dramatic society to play the audience, and they showed up, and it was just really fun getting them to act, because they're really big with their acting style, and I quite liked that. It kind of cracked me up, and they were like, can you act surprised? You can't see this on radio, but basically you can't imagine a more exaggerated acting performance. So if you look at that video, you'll see the audience is has a very unusual tone. Yeah, I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
It's fun. You mentioned in an interview that your family, your wife and kids, are kind of part of your creative process by way of
Sure, yeah.
being the first ones you get to test
Well,
these songs on.
Yeah, because I write a lot of songs for TV and film, you know, and this record I thought, I'll do something different. And I wrote these songs that, you know, they weren't for stories or for comedy clubs and stuff. And so at night, once the kids had gone to sleep and I was avoiding, I guess, doing the dishes, I would practice my guitar and write songs. And just little fragments of songs would come out. But I have this terrible memory. And my wife, Hannah, she knows this, because sometimes she'd be like, I like that one. Can you play that one you played last night? And I was like, I don't even remember what that was about. So then she started getting the iPhone, and like if she hears one she's like that she thinks is good, she gets the iPhone and records it on like a little voice memo or video. So then the next day I can remember it and keep working on it. And to be fair, she should probably be like some sort of co-producer, because she's sort of curated
Yeah.
the songs at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. at night. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't tell her that. Yeah.
Do your children express interest in one day working in the music or show business?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Let's see. It's hard to tell. The one thing that cracks me up about my kids is, like, I'm playing a song and I play it on the piano and they go, is it on Spotify now? And they just think that it's going to instantly be on
Yeah.
Spotify.
You're like,
They're
"What?"
quite disappointed. It takes a couple of years to get organised. I don't know. They play music. I'm trying not to pressure them. I think, being a musician at home, I don't want to force them to play music. But when I don't force them at all, they don't do anything. So I have to just gently encourage them with, lollies if they practice their piano, things like that.
Yeah, I work with teens here at KEXP, and
Okay.
they told me recently, I wish my mother would have forced me to play piano when I was a kid.
Yeah,
And
they say that. They say that
Yeah.
now.
And I was thrilled to hear that, because my son is now taking piano lessons. So
Right, yeah.
I'm like, you're staying in piano lessons.
Yeah.
But-
I guess that's just trying to find out what your kids are, whatever they're
Yes.
passionate about. The problem with playing music is you actually do need to do a bit of practice
Yes,
for it to be fun. So that's the conundrum.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to say about that.
Okay. What would you hope your children, or really any youth, would learn from your journey through the music and show business so far?
Sure. Yeah. Well, one thing I've learned is you have to really enjoy what you're doing, and I guess that's what I'm talking about with the kids. If they enjoy playing soccer, then they should probably play soccer rather than piano. But in the arts, if you like what you're doing, I mean, it's the classic. Everyone says this, but it really does come through. And if you I've done it a couple of times. I've done things for the cash, and it just relentlessly has turned out badly, and what seemed like a really good paycheck has turned into a nightmare. So I think you sort of got to follow things that you really love doing, and then and from my experience, they find their audience, and you find your success in different ways through that path. That would be my strongest advice. Don't try and go to Hollywood trying to get a job on a TV show because you're going to get a good paycheck and buy a house. I mean, that's lunacy. That's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Songs Without Jokes, out on Sub Pop Records. Congratulations.
Sub Pop, Seattle.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Sub Pop.
It's not void of humor, as the title might suggest.
I know. I called the album Songs Without Jokes to sort of give people a heads up that it's not a massive comedy album, but I sort of backfire because it sounds like a joke. And but yeah, it's got some. I guess I'm inspired by songwriters like Randy Newman and Leonard Cohen and people like that who are very funny, but the song itself the song might not be a joke completely, but there are funny lines within it. I was more interested in that style of songwriting than just a full dick joke as the chorus. I've done a lot of those, and I was like, I'll try something different.
Yeah. And I love that approach to songwriting.
The dick joke song.
No.
Oh, the not, yeah.
For this album.
Yeah. No, it was really fun, and I was slightly obsessive, like, okay, don't put. I mean, it's very tempting to put ridiculous rhymes. There was also a line in that song we just did where it's like, you and Jeffrey will start. Some dude called Jeffrey shows up, which I feel is like a little bit of a Steely Dan thing. They drop these characters in, you don't know who they are, and a couple of people have come up to me on the street and like, I want to know more about Jeffrey. What's happened to Jeffrey?
That's funny.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
What I find it hopeful, that approach to songwriting.
Mm-hmm. I'm a pretty hopeful guy generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I don't know, what gives you hope in the world we live in today?
Well, doing this tour, I mean, it's funny, being outside of America, people think America's crazy, right? And most Americans know that, but I'm not sure that everyone does. Like in the news outside of the States, it's like, look at what they're doing over there. We can't be doing too bad. Look at the Americans.
Right.
That's kind of that's the impression in New Zealand and outside of the States. But I come here and, even though you do have plenty of crazy people here, but the majority of the people here are really cool, really lovely, and the audiences, the people come to the shows. I'm just encouraged by, not just at the shows, like the people we meet in the different cities like Chicago as we travel through, and really beautiful people, good people. It's like this country's got there's a lot of good here, and yet its reputation is very bad. So I'm quite hopeful about the majority of Americans are actually really cool.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've had that experience.
Yeah.
What lasting impact do you hope this project will have on people?
I don't know. I guess there's a little bit of. It's been interesting playing the songs live. There's quite a lot of there's a little bit of doom in the record, and but at the same time, there's like this. It has a sort of there is a bit of hopefulness and optimism in there. So I hope that it'll sort of help people out of this strange few years that we've been through. Last night in Portland, someone from the audience came up and said, "Man, I didn't realize how." So I haven't laughed because in the live shows actually I do lots of gags and we do some funny songs and stuff, and she said, "Oh man, I just didn't realize how sad I've been, how heavy it's been the last few years."
Yeah.
She's like, "I haven't actually been out. People haven't been out to shows," and then she also said, "I just haven't really laughed and had a fun, joyful time in a few years." And she was it made her realize how heavy and kind of what a time it's been. So I think maybe this record and the live show is, if anything, it's about bringing people back together and kind of connecting, and that's what I'm loving about it. Yeah.
I love that. Good. Where can people pick up Songs Without Jokes?
At the Seattle airport.
Right.
There's a Sub Pop shop, so just fly to Seattle and go to the Seattle Sub Pop Records.
It's only available there.
It's only available. It's a very limited edition. I guess you can get it, music shops, and it's on Spotify and streaming services like that. And if you can't find it, just message me on Instagram and I'll send you a copy.
Yeah, I see you've been very
I'm blowing up.
responsive
I'm blowing
on
up.
Instagram.
I'm blowing up. Yeah, when the bus broke down, I posted that we'd broken down the mountains, and I got a few minutes. I was like, "Can you help us?" And then I was just testing this power of social media, so I'm kind of new to it, and it's funny, man. I got messages like, "I know the mayor in the nearby town. I'm calling them now. Stay tuned." Or, "My brother's a diesel mechanic. He's on his way."
Oh,
It
man.
was so good.
That sounds like a show right there.
Yeah, it was great.
Bret, thank you so much for coming to KEXP.
Thanks,
Thank you to
Ashley.
the band. Y'all are
Yeah.
incredible. And thanks to the KEXP crew for making this session possible as well. And thank you, KEXP listeners, make this session and all of these sessions possible. You can make a donation at kexp.org to continue making these sessions possible.
Make a donation.
Yes, please do. And thank you so much for checking out Bret McKenzie live on KEXP.
Thanks for having us.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.